Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. So today we're going to talk about Jupiter moving into the sign of Cancer and what that could mean for each and every one of us. Now, before I dive into all 12 signs, I want to take a quick opportunity to thank each and every one of you for liking and sharing out my content and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate the support, so thank you so much for that. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy and grateful that you found your way to me and stumbled across one of my videos or my channel. Also, keep in mind, these are general readings. I cannot stress that enough. So just keep in mind, I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me when we go through all 12 signs. So if you'd like a personal reading dedicated to you, for you, all about you, you can get in touch with me on my website, and I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description box below. Now, I do use Western tropical astrology. I also use a whole sign house system, not only in my practice, but also all of my videos on YouTube land is in a whole sign house system format. And also take what resonates and leave the rest. So as I mentioned, I don't anticipate these videos will resonate with you 100%. And you can certainly watch for your rising sign if you know your rising sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, or any other planet placement or point to pull all this information together for you to kind of give you a high level overview of what you could expect with Jupiter moving into Cancer. So who is Jupiter exactly? So Jupiter takes approximately 1 year to move through each and every sign. It does take him about 12 to 13 years to move through the entire zodiac wheel. Now, when the outer planets shift into new signs, new territories, they foreshadow new shifts and incoming collective energies. Now, Saturn and Jupiter are social societal planets, so they help us to adapt to the outer planets and the collective shifts that they bring in. So the outer planets I'm referring to is Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, who are all shifting into new territory this year. Now, Pluto already has shifted into Aquarius effective late 2024, but it's still new, it's still raw. We still don't really know what Pluto is going to bring to the table over the next 20 years. And of course, Uranus and Neptune and Saturn are all shifting into new territory this year as well. So 2025 is going to be a very important, pivotal, critical year for each and every one of us. So Jupiter, also known as Santa Claus, I love that, old Saint Nick or Zeus, for example. Jupiter rules exploration, growth, faith, optimism, possibilities, opportunities, joy, abundance, and also perfect timing. Now, where Jupiter is in our natal birth charts is where we are naturally lucky, where we are naturally blessed, and where we naturally can expand in that area of life. It's also the area of life that lights us up from the inside out and brings us that joyful expression that we can bring to the planet, that we can bring to the world or bring to the collective. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces. Pisces is co-ruled though by the modern ruler of Neptune, but I do like to focus on the traditional rulers as well, but I certainly can appreciate what the new modern rulers such as Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus can bring to the table as well. Jupiter is also connected to or affiliated with the 12th and 9th houses of the zodiac wheel. So the 12th house is all about endings, preparing for a brand new cycle, solitude, spirituality, spiritual growth, awakenings. It's anything hidden away from public eye. It could be working on your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities behind the scenes. And then the 9th house is all about long distance traveling, foreign lands, foreign cultures, religion, law, ethics, belief systems. It's about dealing with anything to do with international matters or paperwork or legal matters. It's also the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone as well. Now, moving into this Cancerian energy, I kind of want to get you to start feeling this in your body because Cancer is definitely a sensitive, intuitive, emotional sign. So the good news is Jupiter can actually function a lot better in Cancer. Over the past year, he's been transiting Gemini, and he doesn't function very well in Gemini. It doesn't mean Gemini is not a good sign. It doesn't mean Jupiter, is a bad planet. It just means some of these planets are exalted, or they function better in other signs, other synergies, other energies versus other signs or territories where they just can't fully express themselves. And when they try really hard to express themselves, sometimes it can come out sideways, or it can be overwhelming, which I think a lot of us felt when Jupiter was in Gemini. I know I certainly felt it. A lot of people I talked to certainly felt it. So thank God for that Jupiter retrograde that started back in October of 2024, because we all needed that break from Jupiter blasting through Gemini and kind of throwing so many opportunities at us that it was a little bit too much, or we might have bit off more than we can chew. Now, with Jupiter moving into Cancer, I don't think that's going to happen. Cancerian energy is considerate, it's receptive, so it's a yin type of energy going inwards, turning inwards. It's going to be more about us and our home environment. Think under the roof, so to speak, whoever you live with. It's a very nurturing sign, or brings very nurturing energy to the table. Healing, understanding, kindness, warmth, gentleness, sensitive. All the water signs are sensitive. All the water signs are very intuitive, but they all bring different energies to the table. So this is also going to hone in on and put additional focus to, again, our place of living, our roots, our ancestry, where we come from, where we came from, mom, dad, authority figures in our life, or whoever raised us, and also quite literally putting the focus on our home or wherever we live. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So again, this could be an emotional transit, but I'm going to get into, I don't think that's going to be a bad thing at all. I think we're going to need to lean on this Jupiter energy in more than one way. And also Cancer is the sign of I feel. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what Jupiter brings to the table, the energies he, expands on in multiple ways, and then what Cancer can bring to the table. And now those two energies are going to come together for us for the next year. Now, I think, like I mentioned, this is a good thing. I think Jupiter is going to help ground us over the next year throughout 2025 and into 2026. And I also think we will need to lean on him, lean into your Jupiter in Cancer for that additional support. We have a lot of yang expressive energy happening this year. So like I mentioned, Pluto moving into Aquarius, Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, and Uranus moving into Gemini. Those are fire and air elements. So they're all about yang. They're all about self-expression. And Jupiter is going to help us ground all of that energy in and help us, again, walk between the worlds in 2025 and even into 2026 as we move into these brand new energies that are really foreign to us. Like, we've been living with this water and earth energy for a long time when Pluto was in Capricorn, and when Saturn was transiting through Pisces, and when Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011, 2012. So, and also Uranus, can't forget about Uranus being in Taurus too since 2018. So a lot of earthy, grounded energy, but now it's time to make your move, make that self-expression, create the life that you want to create. But it's just starting. So it's not like all of this stuff is going to happen like in 1 month or in 1 day or in 1 year for that matter. This is setting the stage for multiple years to come, decades to come, of what your life will be turning into over the next several years. Now, the good news is when these powerhouses move back into the earth and water energy, so I'm talking about Saturn and Neptune and Uranus, we can kind of catch our breath a little bit, because these energies, like I said, it's going to take us a while to get used to them before 2026, when it's like all systems go and they're fully into these energies. Now, Pluto is officially in Aquarius. No more retrogrades back into Capricorn. He's officially here to stay for 20 years in this fixed air element. And now slowly but surely, all the other planets are going to follow. So Jupiter cycles usually involve taking some sort of leap of faith into the unknown and making those bold moves, taking out those bold action steps towards whatever it is that we desire and want, or think that we desire and want, because it's all about learning from our mistakes. Jupiter is a teacher planet, and same with Saturn. And again, these social planets work together to help us walk through this life that we signed up for. So Jupiter cycles are really neat because you can actually track them every 3 years or so. This is usually when some sort of new beginning or a new adventure takes shape, whether we realize it or not, whether we're conscious of it or not. So I have them on the slide here on the left-hand side. If you want to take a screenshot of this and reflect on these ages and dates that we're going to go over. But the Jupiter return happens, of course, every 12 years because that's how long it takes him to go around the entire zodiac wheel. And the opposition every 6 years. Now, the reason why I have these ages on here is because I also notice you can kind of track these like clockwork every 12 years, every 6 years. There's usually something that happened in your life that was a life-changing or pivotal event that happened in your life. Or again, maybe it wasn't about you. Maybe it was about a family member or a child or a grandparent or one of your parents. So I do, if you're curious and if you like to geek out on past dates like I do, certainly look back to these ages and track them backwards, especially if you know where your natal Jupiter is in your birth chart. You can literally clock these every 6 to 12 years. It's really, I find it really amazing. And if you're coming up to one of these ages, again, this could be a big year for you for shifting into something new. But where this adds an additional layer, because I'm sure some of you are like, well, what's going to happen? Look to your natal Jupiter. What sign is he in and what house is he in? And I'll just give you a simple example. Say Jupiter is in your 10th house of career. You can literally track career changes every 6 to 12 years up in your 10th house of career and status and reputation. Or this could have something to do with mom, dad, authority figures, or bosses in your life, or you as possibly a business owner as well. So the conjunction of Jupiter, so I'm talking about your Jupiter return. Also, by the way, if you have Jupiter in Cancer, you're having your Jupiter return this year over the next year. So this is the initiation point. This is where some sort of adventure or next new beginning starts in your life in some way, shape, or form. So like I said, whether you realize it or not, you're starting brand new cycles when Jupiter comes around to the natal point in your chart. Now, the second stage is 3 years later, and this is the opening Jupiter square. This is about, tweaking something, fine tuning something, adjusting something. Again, it could be something big or it could be something small, or again, maybe you're just on cruise control and you don't even notice it. That could be a possibility too. Now, the third stage is that Jupiter opposition, which I have the ages listed on the slide, so you don't really need your birth chart for this either to try to figure this out. But the Jupiter opposition, this is manifestation. This is maybe something coming to a culmination point. This could be an evaluation of a review of something that you started 6 years previously. Again, it could be another change, another upheaval in your life that you have to take on, a brand new adventure that you begin. And then we move on 3 years later. This is the closing Jupiter square. So again, this is wrapping things up. This is, you start to get a little ants in your pants. You feel like, okay, something's got to change, something's got to give. So again, you could be on cruise control, or there could be just some adjustments at this final closing Jupiter square, and then it starts all over again. So 3 years later, you're in your Jupiter return. But the thing is, you're incorporating all those changes that happened over the past 12 years. It's sort of the lessons you've learned along that journey and incorporating them into your brand new Jupiterian cycle. So it starts all over again. Now, Jupiter officially moves into Cancer on June the 9th. Now, give or take a day or two, depending on where you're on the planet. I think I pulled these from like a universal calendar. So again, it's approximate. So June 2025 to June of 2026 is when we have Jupiter in Cancer. Also, what I like to geek out on, like I said, I always like looking back in the past. Last time Jupiter was in Cancer was June of 2013 to July of 2014. So that was the most recent period of time that Jupiter was in Cancer. Even go beyond that. July of 01 to July of 02. We have August 89 to August 90. August of 77 to September of 78. If you want to keep going backwards, just keep going backwards 12 years. That'll give you an approximate time frame of when Jupiter was in Cancer. So similar themes could be coming up at this time. Now, I'm not saying the exact same thing happened. Now, if something not so good happened to you back then, I'm not really sure if that was Jupiter. You know, Jupiter is a different type of energy. Like I said, he tries to bring in expansion and opportunities and blessings, like breaks. He gives us breaks. You know, it's like, here's a break. You know, here's a break from your Saturn transit. Here's a break from your Neptune transit or Pluto transit or whatever, or an eclipse, you know. But with that said, Jupiter does expand on everything he touches, like everything he touches. So he will expand the good and the abundant and the joy, but he'll also expand the not so good things. But he's doing that for a reason. Like, think about a crack in the foundation of your home or place of living, or a crack in the wall. You know it's there. It's like, you know, it's just there, right? You put plaster over it. You know, you might replace the drywall and it cracks again. So what Jupiter does is make that crack bigger and bigger and bigger until you're like, okay, I got to do something about this. Clearly, I got to do something about this crack that keeps splitting open my wall or cracking open the foundation of my house. And now my house is sagging to the left, or things like that, right? I'm not putting a damper on Jupiter. I'm not trying to be negative about it, but this is what Jupiter does. I notice people automatically think that, you know, the sky opens up and Jupiter makes you a millionaire. It could be possible. Could be possible. Okay. If you win the lottery, let me know, because I'd love to look at your chart and see what that looks like in the chart, right? And see what transpired for that to happen, right? Because I guarantee it's not just one transit. Is, you know, we usually got to see it 3 times in the sky. That's kind of the astrologer's rule there. But good things can happen, don't get me wrong, but it's not automatic usually. Like Jupiter, again, brings us that opportunity. And it's sort of like, well, what are we going to do with it, right? It's up to us whether we want to expand on something or change something in our lives, or just let it pass us by. So anyway, like I said, not trying to taint Jupiter, because usually these transits are very good things, but they can also make your head spin. Like Jupiter can expand us so big, so fast. He doesn't know any different. He just brings in blessings, but it can, you know, for us as humans, it can make our head spin, right? Too much, there is such thing as too much of a good thing, right? Or biting off more than we can chew, which really, as I said earlier, made me realize that happened to a lot of people with Jupiter transiting Gemini. But again, I don't think that's going to happen this time around. Cancer brings a different set of skills and energies to the table, a little bit more relaxed energy. So anyway, like I said, if anything bad happened to you 12 years ago, I don't know if Jupiter would have been the culprit, because again, this is where your personal birth chart comes into play. All right. Thank you so much. If you're still with me, thank you so much for being here. And I really hope you learned some new things about Jupiter. And also, again, keep in mind, you can watch for your sun sign, your rising sign, if you know your rising sign, your moon sign, or any other planet placement point. And we will now dive into all 12 signs. Hey, Aries, let's talk about the area of life that Jupiter will be expanding over the next year. So he moved out of your 3rd house of Gemini, of the mind, communication, transportation, however it is that you get around. This is about learning something new and applying those skills, talents, and abilities, possibly now that Jupiter is moving along into your 4th house. 3rd house is also about siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives, so maybe their lives expanded in some way, shape, or form. This is also about community, your local living environment, so the local town, city, state, province, country, place of living, so to speak. And 3rd house is also about social media and the internet and local short distance traveling. But Jupiter is also about long distance traveling too. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you also snuck in some long distance traveling or international matters, because Jupiter also rules your 9th house of foreign lands, foreign cultures as well, Aries. So Jupiter is wrapping up that busy, busy, busy area of life. I have no doubt you had a busy year, Aries. And I really hope Jupiter brought in some positive blessings for you over the past year. Now, with Jupiter moving into your 4th house, this is going to activate a brand new area of life. So this is all about home, family, living situation, living circumstances, the past, your connection to the past. This is also about property, and also Aries, for you, I just heard inheritance. That's more of an 8th house thing, but I'll throw it out there because I just heard it. Also retirement, Aries, you know, whether you're ready to retire or set to retire or planning to retire or saving to retire, that could be coming up over the next year. And also this is a parental access. So this is you as a parent, if you are a parent, mom, dad, authority figures in your life. And this transit might also impact your career as well, especially if your IC, if your home line is truly through Cancer, Aries, then yeah, this might ripple up into your career sector as well. But the point is, the focus is definitely going to be on home and your place of living, and quite literally your home. Now, Jupiter in the 4th house, some common things that could happen is you could quite literally move, but this is going to be a really nice beneficial move. This isn't the transit usually that you downsize. Aries, I'm just going to put it out there so you're aware of that. You know, you might think you're downsizing, but Jupiter is big, right? As I mentioned earlier, Jupiter wants to expand on anything it touches. So just be mindful of that, you know, or you might stay in your current place of living and do some renovations, and especially an add-on is common with Jupiter moving through the 4th house, or again, expanding your home, expanding your family. So again, you could be welcoming in new babies, new people into your living space or living circumstances. Maybe you get a roommate, whatever the case may be. Your home life should get some beneficial and joy out of this transit over the next year. But Aries, yes, I know there's a but. Jupiter is squaring your placements, like whatever you're watching for right now. So squares are going to make you take action on something or someone in this area of life. People, places, things, it's more so about these sorts of situations and circumstances coming into your life. Because again, Jupiter wants to bring you opportunity. Jupiter wants you to learn. He's a teacher, so he wants you to teach, or he wants to teach you something, Aries, over the next year. So he might throw some curveballs at you in order to respond or react to the situations that are coming towards you or at you. And this might not even be about you. It could be about a family member, for example, that you need to support and be there for supporting them in some way, shape, or form. But this transit is going to ask you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. And again, what are you going to do with those circumstances, right? And how are you going to work with these changes or challenges or frustrations that might be coming in? The example I gave at the earlier part of the video about the crack in your home or the crack in the foundation. Again, Jupiter is not a negative planet. It's more so, what are you going to do about that crack in the wall? You know, are you going to just keep slathering something over it to cover it up? Or are you going to address it and get to the root of the situation? I'll give you some examples here. So if you're watching for your Aries sun, and Jupiter comes along and squares your sun, this could be career opportunities coming your way. Like, again, this could be a good thing, but you could be torn. You know, you might be happy in your current circumstances, and then you get another offer that's okay, but there's some give and take there that you have to analyze, right? Like maybe the money's not there, but it's what you always wanted to do. So there'll be some decisions to make, I think, this year with regards to your career. Now, if you're not working, again, this would more so bleed out in your retirement. Like, what are you doing on a day-to-day? How are you contributing to society? This could also be about father figures in your life, or bosses or authority figures in your life as well. Now, if it's your moon, Aries moon, this is expansion of the home. This is changes in the home in some way, shape, or form. Again, people moving out, people moving in, changes to your living situation. You may move, you might not move. Again, is your IC through Cancer? That would be my question to you. And if you don't know, that's okay. This might make you move and it might not make you move. You might just stay put, but beautify or renovate the inside of your home, for example, whether it be major or minor. It depends on how this is talking to the rest of your birth chart. Also with the moon, this is your emotional body as well, Aries. So again, things coming back from the past, childhood wounds, childhood memories, anything that bubbles up to the surface and you're kind of like, well, where did that come from? This memory from when I was like 12 years old, that is being brought up for a reason. Jupiter wants you to heal it, acknowledge it, and let it go once and for all, so you do not carry it anymore with you for the rest of your existence, for example. Now, if it's your rising sign, this is about Jupiter challenging you to change how you enter the world, how you look at the world. It's the glasses that we wear, how we see the world and how the world sees you. So you're being asked to change in some way, shape, or form. Now, if this is your rising sign, that means your descendant runs through your love line, your relationship line runs through Libra. So same thing, this could be changes on the relationship front or how you relate one-on-one to people and individuals. And again, for you, I'm hearing changes to people, places, and things and situations and circumstances, because Jupiter is also your international planet. So if you have any sort of international connections or ties or an international business, this could be up for some changes as well, because Jupiter does rule the top of your sky as well, Aries. Otherwise, and again, I have on the screen here, think back to the last time Jupiter was in Cancer to kind of give you a flavor of how this transit may impact you. But all in all, Aries, I'm not trying to Debbie down this transit. Please don't take it that way. It's just that this will be a year of implementing anything that you've learned over the past year and beyond, depending on where you are in your Jupiter cycle. So if you know where your natal Jupiter is in your birth chart, what Jupiter cycle are you in right now? Are you in the opening square, opposition, closing square, or do you have your natal Jupiter in Cancer? That would add an additional layer to this as well, Cancer. But really nice transit overall. Jupiter blessing the 4th house of home, family, foundation. Again, this should really help with family dynamics or learning about the past or ancestry or any sort of connection that you have with people, not only under your roof, but also your direct family members as well. And if you don't have family, well, then this would extend to, again, whoever you live with, whoever you hang out with on a day-to-day basis. This could even bleed into your friendship circles as well. Anyone that's really, really close to you that knows you very intimately, Aries. So enjoy your Jupiter transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Taurus, let's talk about the new area of life that Jupiter will be expanding you on over the next year. So you just had Jupiter in your 2nd house of Gemini. So 2nd house is all about money and work and finances and your relationship to money and your relationship to how you earn a living. So if you're not working, apply this to your circumstance. How do you pay the taxes? How do you pay the rent? How do you pay the mortgage? How do you pay for whatever, however you're living right now? Taurus. So this is all about lining your pockets, how you earn a living, how you make a living. This is also about material possessions and the things that personally belong to you. So hopefully Jupiter lined your pockets while he was in that second house, but also being in the second house, you probably gained more, I'm guessing, material possessions as well, because that definitely is not a downsizing transit unless you were experiencing another sort of transit to this second house. But usually this is an expansion transit. So you probably bought more, which is not a bad thing. That's the whole point of Jupiter coming through here. Now, Jupiter moving into the third house. This is all about the mind, communication. This is the consciousness. This is like the local consciousness of your day-to-day circumstances, day-to-day busyness, duty, transportation, how it is that you get around. It's also the house of your siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhood. So maybe this might not be about you, but you might see their lives change and expand in some way, shape, or form. So for example, maybe someone's going to get married this year, or someone's going to have a baby this year, or someone's going to expand on the family front this year. I mean, it could be you as well, Taurus, because this Jupiter is making nice aspects and opportunities up to you. But this is the third house, so it's going to expand beyond you. So you're going to notice other people around you, the relatives, the family, the neighbors, their lives are going to be changing as well. Third house is also about your local environment, your local community, your local place of living. It's about local, not so much international. But with that said, Jupiter is the planet of foreign lands, foreign cultures, and things like that as well. But Jupiter is putting more so the focus on your local environment. Third house is also social media and internet. So if you have a website, Taurus, or if you're on YouTube land or any of the other platforms, social platforms out there, you should get some traction. You should get some expansion on those platforms. If you own a business, run a business, get out on social media, Taurus, if you have not already done that. Try advertising this year, and it should help in some way, shape, or form. It should help and expand you in this area of life. Again, Jupiter brings in benefits, and he's making nice aspects to your Taurus planets, placements, points over the next year. So this could be really beneficial for you, no matter, like if you want to put yourself out there, for example. Third house is also about short distance traveling. So speaking of local environment, this is like exploring your local town, city, state, province, wherever you're living right now. This is like exploring your local environment. But like I said, it doesn't mean you're never going to travel or you're not going to travel, Taurus, because at the end of the day, Jupiter is the planet of traveling overseas, over lands, over great distances as well. So I'm not saying that'll never happen, but I think the focus will be on your local place of living. Now, the good news is, Taurus, is that Jupiter is making opportunity aspects to you all year long. So sextiles is what we call them. This is about opportunities coming into your life. Now, I'm going to forewarn you here, because Jupiter sometimes throws a lot at us, right? Because they don't know, right? These sky gods don't know the difference. They're all about expansion. So they're like here, 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 here. You know, they don't know any better because they're trying to expand us. They're trying to teach us. Saturn and Jupiter are the great teachers, so they like to teach and expand and constrict. Well, that's Saturn. But anyway, the point is, hopefully opportunities will be coming your way. Again, through that local third house or through siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives, whatever. So it'll be up to you whether you want to take advantage of this opportunity, take advantage of this new beginning or new change, or let it pass you by. And that's totally up to you, because I have a feeling you're going to have multiple opportunities. You're going to have a lot of things and changes coming in, and it's up to you if you want to take them all on, because one cautionary note here is you could bite off more than you can chew. And I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm not trying to make this negative. That's what Jupiter can do with these transits, is again, they're trying to help us. They don't know any better. They're sky gods. They're not in physical, dense human bodies. So they don't know the difference between that. They just see it as a blessing and a good thing. Where us, we can only take on so much, right? In a 24-hour day. And at some point we got to sleep. right? So Taurus, if you're watching for your sun sign, this is incredible for your career. This is career opportunities coming in. Now, if you're not working, again, apply this to your living circumstances. Maybe this is about you getting to know your local neighborhood better and somehow shining a light on how you can contribute to your local environment and local community, city, town, place, state, whatever you want to call it, how you can contribute and how you can help the greater good. Taurus. So if it's not your career, it would be, okay, what is your purpose? It's like Jupiter is going to drop off some nuggets to you, and it'll be up to you to take those hints or, again, leave them. And I'm not here to judge. It's just that's what Jupiter could be presenting to you this year. So expansion with volunteer opportunities or humanitarian efforts, or this could be about your career, advancing in your career, expanding in the career. Also, father figures. This could be changes if you have a connection with your father still, or male figures in your life, this could be opportunities coming in for them as well. If it's your moon sign, this is about changes on the home front. Jupiter's in Cancer. It is the sign of home, even though this isn't your fourth house. But again, apply this to your birth chart. Maybe this is your fourth house. I don't know, but this could be benefits coming in on the home front, or benefits coming in for a mother or female figure in your life as well. This is expanding you on the emotional front from that perspective. Also for you, Taurus, I just heard healing. For you, yes, this could be healing coming in for you as well, finding maybe the right practitioner if it's your Taurus moon. Now, if it's your Taurus rising, this is about how you present yourself to the world, how you perceive the world. It's the glasses, it's the lenses that we wear, and also how people perceive us. So again, there'll be opportunity to change that in some way, shape, or form. And I'll leave that up to you as to how you want to change your presence in the world. Again, depending on your circumstances, if you're working or not working, or if you're a parent or not a parent, or whatever the case may be. Now, the thing is, if you are watching for your rising sign, that means your love line goes through the 7th house of Scorpio. Now, Jupiter making a trine to your love line is really good news for your relationship sector, Taurus. So Jupiter is the planet of marriage. Jupiter is the planet of commitment, and so is Saturn. So this is really nice for relationships, Taurus, to be honest. Again, rising, you got to be a Taurus rising for that. It doesn't mean Taurus suns, you can't benefit this from your relationships, because you certainly can with Jupiter in a very social area of your chart. This should bring in harmony and blessings into this area of life. But a trine to your love line, this is great for getting married. This is great for making commitments to a loved one. This is great for reigniting that spark, that flame, whatever the case may be. It could also bring in blessings to your partner, whoever you're connected with, or a business partner, or anything to do with your one-on-one relationships, which also ties into this 3rd social house as well, Taurus. So really nice energy coming in for you over the next year. Again, I have the dates on the slide. Think back to the previous years that that Jupiter was in Cancer, and it'll kind of give you a flavor of what is to come over the next year. Otherwise, Taurus, enjoy this Jupiter transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Gemini, let's talk about the area of life that Jupiter will be expanding for you over the next year. But I do want to hear from you, Gemini. I'm curious, how did Jupiter transit Gemini work out for you? I'm curious, what areas of life expanded? What happened? If there's anything I noticed with Jupiter going through Gemini last year, or I should say over the past year, is, oh my goodness, very overwhelming energy. Like lots of opportunity, lots of things coming at us. But that Jupiter retrograde was a blessing come October 2024 until he went direct in February. So Gemini, if you're curious, I'd like to even send me a private message on my website. I'm just curious how this expanded you on multiple levels, depending on if it was your sun, your rising sign, your moon sign, or anything else you're watching for, or if you have a stellium in Gemini. I'm really curious how Jupiter expanded you on multiple areas of life. So anyway, speaking of that, he's wrapping up that cycle. You know, the first house is all about you, your identity, your appearance, the health and well-being of the body. I have no doubt this probably impacted the nervous system, the mind, any sort of major life themes. This probably touched all areas of life for you, Gemini, because the first house, the fourth house, the seventh house, and the 10th house, anything that happens in those big angular houses can really impact your entire life and turn it on its head, you know. But anyway, I'm not dooming and glooming Jupiter. I'm just saying, you know, there's one thing I learned over the last year. Jupiter is a blessing. Yes, we all know that. But he can also make our heads spin off. Spin off literally. So anyway, Gemini, you're getting out of that energy. Jupiter has moved on or will be moving on into Cancer in your second house. So what is this going to bring? This should bring expansion when it comes to work, whatever it is that you do for work. Now, if you're saying to me, well, I don't work, well, then how do you pay the rent? How do you pay the mortgage? How do you pay your taxes? How do you put gas in your car to run around? How do you buy groceries? Like who lines your pockets? Basically, Gemini. So second house is also about money, not only work and earnings, but money, how you make money, how you earn money, how you spend money, how you save money or don't save money. One thing about Jupiter in this second house, which is, don't get me wrong, really good energy coming in for work, career matters, and financial matters, but it can also make you spend a lot of money. Second house is also material possessions. So Gemini, if you're looking to downsize, I don't know if that'll happen this year. I'm going to be honest with you, unless Saturn was coming through here. Saturn constricts, restricts, Jupiter expands. So Jupiter is going to possibly make you spend more money. You'll buy more things, whatever that means for you. Or if this isn't things, this is maybe traveling a little bit more, because Jupiter does rule long distance traveling as well. Second house is also anything that belongs to you. Like this transit is all about you. Now, with that said though, Jupiter is your relationship planet as well, Gemini. So this could also be about your partner expanding on multiple levels or expanding on their business or whatever the case may be. Again, it depends on if they're working or not working. Apply this to your circumstances or situations, because maybe this isn't about you. Maybe this is about a partner expanding, or this could be, well, this is Cancer. So, I mean, this is anyone you live with, home, family, foundation, anyone living under your own roof. This could literally impact your home as well, like renovating the home, expanding the home, welcoming people into the home, people staying with you more, maybe people traveling in and staying with you. That could be a possibility as well, Gemini. So this is good news for the pocketbook, I hope, for you, Gemini. And it also depends on, this is where it comes down to your personal birth chart, because Jupiter is not really making any aspects to your Gemini placements, right? So this is where I would ask you, okay, do you have anything in Cancer? Do you have anything in Capricorn or Aries or Libra for that matter? Because Jupiter will be talking to the rest of your chart as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, think back to these time periods on the slide here. So the most recent transit through Jupiter and Cancer would have been June of 2013 to July of 2014. So what happened back then, Gemini? You know, and if it was something not so good, I'm not saying the exact same thing is going to happen. Okay, you can even go back further than that. July 01, July 02, things like that. So Jupiter expands anything he touches on, like I mentioned earlier. So do keep that in mind. He can expand on the good things, but he can also expand on, again, as I described, like cracks in the foundation, cracks in the drywall. Are you going to just keep putting plaster over it, or are you going to once and for all get to the root of it, get to the foundation of it and fix the problem once and for all? Or are you going to just keep putting plaster over it? And you can do either or, Gemini. Like, I think once Jupiter moves into, say, for example, Virgo, I think that will be a time for you of transition and change, more so it transiting your second house. But it doesn't mean you won't go through changes this year. Gemini. I think honestly, you out of all the signs need a little bit of a break because like I said, Jupiter expanded you probably on multiple levels last year. So this is kind of a breathing period until he hops into Leo, which is again going to be bringing in tons of expansion and tons of opportunity for you and towards you. Otherwise, Gemini, enjoy this transit and we will see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Cancer, let's talk about where Jupiter will be expanding you over the next year. So Jupiter has been trekking through your hidden 12th house over the past year, basically preparing you for this cycle that Jupiter is hopping into right now in your sign. So over the past year might have been about endings, letting things go so you can welcome in something new into this cycle. This is about reflection and review of where is your time, your energy, your efforts being spent. You know, where are you spending? This could have been about work. Jupiter is your 6th house ruler, so this could have been about work, could have been about your health and well-being, and reflecting on that. Sort of like, what are the next steps? What do I want to take into this brand new cycle with me that I've learned in the past? The 12th house, this also would have been about dreams. Maybe you had really vivid, incredible dreams over the past year. Solitude, nothing wrong with that. Healing, working on things behind closed doors, kind of being away from the public eye. And like I said, working on things or healing yourself or working on yourself or just stepping away from the spotlight for a while, which is totally fine. So, and apply this to your circumstance, Cancer, because I can appreciate some of you are working and some of you aren't working, and everybody's at different stages in their life experience, right? This is where age comes in. So Cancer, now Jupiter in your sign is going to at some point conjunct your planets, placements, or points in this house, in this area of life. So the first house is all about you, your physical appearance, your identity, your vitality, the health and well-being of your body. This is about major life cycles and themes. The first house is also your approach to life, how you approach life, and also how life approaches you, or how people see you or view you. Now, all of this could be up for some change, but on top of that, this is an angular house. So the first house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house are all angular houses. So this transit could impact all areas of life, Cancer. This could impact your home, family, foundation. You are the sign of home, family, foundation, roots, ancestry. This is also the sign of, or the axes of mother, father, authority figures in your life. So they could be in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form if they are still with us. This could also be about your grandparents as well. This could be about your career. This could be about retirement and what that means for you. This could be about, okay, what do I want to change in my career? Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? Or do I want to move away from that and start something brand new? Now, if you're not working, again, this is about what do you do on a day-to-day basis from a duty and responsibility standpoint. What are your duties and responsibilities, and how do you show up for that, Cancer? That will be up for maybe some change and possibly some challenges as well, because Jupiter is, like I said, Jupiter is a blessing. I don't want to Debbie down him, but as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you watch my intro, I talked about a crack in the wall. You know, this is quite literally, if there's any frustrations in your life, if there's any cracks in your foundation, including in your relationships, is this going to break that crack wide open and make it so obvious to you that you cannot ignore it? That's what Jupiter also does, because he comes around and says, okay, you've been putting plaster over this crack for the last 3 years. It's time to do something about it now. It's time to act. So he'll put some pressure on you in that sense, but it's definitely a different energy than, say, Saturn or Pluto or Neptune or Uranus, for example, Cancer. So I don't want to make this negative, but I also want to be realistic, because if there's one thing I learned last year, or I should say the last transit with Jupiter in Gemini, is it made a lot of people's heads spin. People took on too much, and too many opportunities came their way, and they said yes to every one of them. And then by the time Jupiter went retrograde, there was a lot of people that got, that just couldn't do it anymore. And they had to step away from whatever it was that they took on too much of, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that would have been you or not, being in a hidden 12th house, but yeah, did I felt it? Did I ever notice it with talking to clients, just talking to people randomly, about, wow, like what's happening in the stars, you know? So now that's you. You have Jupiter in the first house. So you're going to go through what Gemini sort of went through last year. But the difference is Jupiter functions a lot better in your sign, Cancer. He can fully express himself without being too over the top. You know, sometimes Jupiter, again, he wants to bring us good things, but sometimes it's just too much for our physical, dense human bodies to handle, Cancer. So this is where it comes down to your personal birth chart and what you're watching for. So if you have a Cancer sun, this is about your personality. This is about your vitality. I think a lot of you will appear more joyful and abundant and just overall happy over the next year. So isn't that nice, Cancer? Isn't that nice? Like, people might notice that. You might not notice it, but other people might notice it. You'll be more of a magnet. You know, you'll be attracting all walks of life towards you, because you'll have this jovial spirit about you when Jupiter comes in conjunction with your sun. This is also about career. So for those of you that are working, this should bring in not one, not two, but probably multiple career opportunities, Cancer, especially Jupiter being your career planet, or one of your career planets, I should say. Mars is your other career planet, but this should be good news on the work front. So I'm just going to put that out there. But again, only take on what you can, Cancer. That would just be my caution. Unless you're Superwoman or Superman, take it all on, Cancer. Why not? When Jupiter goes retrograde in your sign, that's when you can take a break, I guess, right? So that's the sun. Also your vitality. This should be good for your health. Jupiter is also your health and well-being planet. But again, if you've been ignoring your health, if you've been, you know, ignoring that sore hip or the sore knee or whatever, Jupiter might make you a little bit more sore, make it come to your attention a little bit more, because again, he wants you to find the right practitioner to help you. He wants you to help yourself, Cancer, if that makes sense. So he might blow that inflammation or irritation up a little bit more from a health and well-being perspective, so you can deal with it this year and find the right practitioner, because Jupiter will be in your fourth house, or sorry, first house. My goodness, not your fourth house, your first house. Okay, what else here? Sun sign could also represent male or father figures in your life if they are still with us. So they could be expanding in some way, shape, or form, Cancer. Speaking of that, Jupiter moving through the first house, for those of you that are on strict diet or exercise routines, Jupiter can make us a little bit lazy in the first house. I'm going to put it out there. Again, not trying to make this negative, but Jupiter can literally expand the waistline when he's in here. So he could either make you pregnant. I actually had somebody on YouTube share that with me, and I'll never forget it. She said, yeah, when Jupiter was transiting my first house, I got pregnant. You know, and I thought, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Jupiter in the fifth house is pregnancy. But in the first house, she got pregnant with Jupiter transiting the first house, and it expanded her waistline, right? So pregnancy, whether you're male, female watching it, it doesn't matter, right? Like, it takes two to tango. So pregnancy, or again, it can make us a little bit lackadaisy and make us get that muffin top. Cancer. So again, I'm not trying to be negative here. It's just, you know, as long as you're aware of it now, because this could be emotional eating for all of us, by the way. But being in the first house, you're just getting a double whammy of this, Cancer. So I'll put that out there as well. Now, if you have a Cancer moon, this is about the home and family and foundation. So that could be expanding. You could be moving, you could be renovating, you could be expanding your home, you could be putting an extension on your home, or building a deck or a garage or a greenhouse or something like that. You're expanding on the property front. Now, this could also be similar to the sun represents father or male figures. The moon represents mother or female figures, Cancer. So this could be, again, something in their life is expanding or changing. Or again, maybe they're moving. Maybe one of your parents could be moving or expanding or renovating or whatever the case may be. But if this is your moon, this is changes to your local home living situation, whoever you live with. Also something to do with the emotional body as well. Cancer, it could be emotional with Jupiter coming into your sign. You are already a very sensitive, intuitive sign, and this just amps up that energy. So if you feel overwhelmed, just take a step back. Or if you need a good cry, do it. Jupiter is encouraging you to do it. It'll feel good to get that out of your body. You know, baths, water, showers, hot tubs, anything to do with that, any sort of water therapy, I think would really help over the next year, Cancer. Now, if it's your rising sign, again, this is about how you present yourself to the world, whether you're working or not, how you perceive the world. It's the glasses, it's the lenses that we wear, and it's also how people see us. And again, if it's your rising sign, this is hitting multiple angles in your chart. That means it's also hitting your descendant, your love line. So your partner could be going through some shifts and changes at this time as well. Jupiter is the planet of marriage after all, so there could be a commitment or taking the next step with a partner. This could be in love, this could be in business, or any sort of one-to-one connection that you have with another person. So this could be family or friends, or also animals too. I just heard for you, because Jupiter is your animal planet as well, Cancer. So, I mean, maybe some of you are getting animals or more animals. That could be a possibility as well. So, Cancer, I hope that kind of helped give you an idea of what Jupiter could be expanding. Also, think back to the previous years here on the slide, June 2013 to July 2014 and beyond. 01 to 02, 89 to 90, and keep going backwards if you want. This also depends on where Jupiter is in your personal birth chart. So how is this Jupiter transit talking to your Jupiter, if that makes sense? Where are you in your Jupiter return, right? Are you in the opening square, opposition, closing square, or conjunction, Cancer? So that's where I could add layer upon layer upon layer. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. And I really hope you enjoy this transit, Cancer, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Leo, let's talk about where Jupiter is expanding you over the next year. So Jupiter wrapped up his year-long stay in your 11th house of friendship circles and older siblings, if you do have any older siblings. Groups, associations, unions, professional memberships and associations that you belong to as well. And the 11th house is also about your role within these groups of people as well. Your hopes, your wishes, your dreams lie in the 11th house. This is all about the future, planning for the future, Leo. This would have been about social media, the internet, kind of like the spotlight on you, expanding your social media presence, if that does interest you or if that resonates with you. The 11th house is all about what supports you, what lights you up, and what lifts you up, Leo. So I really hope this transit was a blessing for you, Leo. Now, don't get me wrong, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you know, this made a lot of people's heads spin. There was a lot to take on. There was a lot of opportunity coming our way, and it was tough to kind of bite off everything and do everything for everyone, right, Leo? So I know this transit through Gemini could have been kind of a double-edged sword, kind of mixed blessings coming in. So regardless, I just hope Jupiter at least left you with some sort of gift or blessing or expansion in this area of life, or at least benefits coming your way from this area of life. Also, 11th house, humanitarian efforts, if I didn't mention that as well. This is anything to do with moving things forward from a collective perspective, and if you're connected to groups and affiliations and global associations like that as well, Leo. So now it's time to quiet down a little bit. Jupiter is moving into a hidden area of your chart. Now what he's doing though, before you go, ah, Right, Leo? Before you go, oh, come on now. You're going to need this. You're going to need this to recharge your batteries, Leo. As I mentioned during my intro, we got a lot of energy in fire and air elemental energy this year. There's a lot of umph, there's a lot of outward expression happening already, and you are going to need this Jupiterian energy to ground yourself. This is going to be about, 12th house is all about solitude, and maybe there could be a focus, Leo. This is not going to apply for all of you unless this is your true 12th house. Cancer is your true 12th house, I should say. This could be about letting things go and a focus more so on endings and wrapping things up before you leap into something new, which I think for you, Leo, could come down the pipe in 2026. I'm not saying new beginnings can't find you this year, because they certainly can. I'll make a video about it. I'm going to be making videos about all the big transiting planets that are going to be supporting you from this fiery, spicy energy that you also bring to the table, Leo. So this is about awakenings, possibly from a spiritual perspective, or just awakenings in general. This could be about a reflection point. Like I said, taking a back seat, going into hibernation mode, Leo, not in all areas of life, but you might crave that after maybe being in the spotlight over the past year, or maybe running off your feet over the past year and doing everything for everybody else and kind of being on. Like, I find Leos like have to be on all the time, and it's kind of like now you'll appreciate that solitude time and going home and reflecting and just being in your cozy space. That's what this energy is going to bring to the table. To be honest, I think this is delicious energy coming in for all the Leos out there, because once Jupiter pops into your sign, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but middle of 2026, Jupiter is going to hop into Leo, and yeah, it's all systems go, fires ablaze, and Leo, you'll have more than enough capacity and umph and stuff to move forward with. So don't feel guilty about sleeping in and getting more sleep and getting more rest and healing yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, whatever you want to call it, Leo. Take a time out. This is a big time out before almost like you relaunch yourself with Jupiter coming into the first house, which again is really going to help speed up life along with all the other planets and placements and points that are happening in your sky as well in particular. Leo, this could also be about, if there's anything metaphysical that you want to dive into, or religion or spirituality or whatever the case may be, this is a really nice year to do it as well. Diving into those hidden gifts, talents, and abilities, or again, anything that interests you and lights you up from the inside out. I would say dive into that and move towards that. Healing definitely could be pretty big for you with this transit. And again, there's no rush, Leo. There's no rush. You have this for an entire year. So don't rush it. Just accept it. Lean into it. Like I said in the intro, I think we're really going to need Jupiter in Cancer for this grounding post to come back to, because it could be a really overwhelming year for all of us, because we're trying to get shoved into the new, but we're not quite ready yet. That's really going to happen in 2026 and 2027 and beyond. So take the time out if you need it, Leo. And I apologize if this sounds boring. I can appreciate if it sounds boring. I'm a Leo sun, so I get it, but I'm kind of looking forward to this myself, of just, you know, taking in that downtime and solitude and recharge our batteries, so to speak, again, on multiple levels. If you need a healer, if you need a counselor, this is the year to find that trusted professional or trusted friend or whoever that you can really lean on, Leo, for that support. And yeah, did I mention reflection? Yeah, nice time to reflect and, you know, where is your time, your energy, your effort being spent, whether you're working or not working. Apply this to your life in situation and scenario, Leo. You know, really good time for that introspection. I also just heard, I know I was getting to it, I also just heard work with the angels. So the 12th house, whenever Jupiter transits the 12th house, it's like you have a guardian angel on your shoulder. But with that said, we have our angels and guides and spiritual team with us 24/7. But I find when Jupiter is moving through the 12th house, this is just big synchronicity. This is like in your face symbolism that you just cannot, you can't miss this, Leo. Like, and you just can't make it up either. Like, I think you'll have a year of strange coincidences and synchronicities and symbolism and things aligning, being in the right place at the right time. And you're going to say to yourself, maybe at least once this entire year, you can't make this shit up, you know, and that's Jupiter in the 12th house. So yes, and they keep tapping me on the shoulder saying, yeah, I'm here. So yeah, you're going to have that big angelic support, Leo, over the next year. And yes, I'm getting goosebumps saying that as well, which I absolutely love. I think the Leos definitely need that. But we're going to be part of the crew moving the energies forward, the collective forward, just because we have Saturn and Neptune on our side too over the next several years, Leo. I'll talk about that in other videos. But anyway, Leo, something to look forward to. And this is also where your personal birth chart comes in. You know, where are you in your Jupiter cycle? You know, where is your Jupiter? How is this Jupiter talking to the rest of your chart and your natal Jupiter? That's going to add in additional layer after layer after layer after layer. Do you have anything in Cancer that he's going to conjunct? And if you do, this will be an expansion of that planet placement point or whatever you're watching for right now, Leo. Let's see here. Think back to June of 2013 to July of 2014. I have some other dates on the slide here. Think back 12 years ago. You know, what was happening in your life during these time periods? Was it quiet? Were you on cruise control? Were you kind of like taking a step back from society? Maybe some of you, this was something to do with children or family, or living circumstances or living situation, or mom, dad, authority figures, or something to do with your kids. Jupiter does rule your 5th house of children and joy and self-expression and what lights you up. I think a lot of Leos, you know, dive into what you're interested in. Dive into learning about the angels, crystals, metaphysical, whatever lights you up, Leo. And if you're not interested in any of that stuff, then dive into whatever lights you up. You know, this is definitely that time of extra nudges to bring back your joy, to bring back your light. And again, preparing for that brand new cycle for you that's going to technically start in 2026. Not saying new beginnings can't start now. They certainly can in 2025. But 2026 is going to be more of an activation year for you, where you're just going to have so much yang energy to work with, Leo. It's just like, get the rest you need now, because I think you're gonna fly like the wind once 2026 comes. All right, Leo, enjoy this Jupiter transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Virgo, let's talk about where Jupiter is in your sky and what area of life he is going to be expanding for you over the next year. Now, Virgo, he is wrapping up a year-long stay in your 10th house of career. So this is all about reputation and status and your long-term commitments and goals and the reputation or the legacy that you want to leave behind. This could have also been about you as a parent, Virgo, if you are a parent, or this could have been about authority figures in your life. So mom, dad, or whoever raised you, aunt, uncle, grandparents. This also maybe could have included bosses. Hopefully, maybe you had some sort of benefits coming in from this area of life, Virgo. I hope anyway. This did make a square to you all year long. So I'm curious to hear how this expanded you, on what level. And I have no doubt Jupiter asked you, like, squares from Jupiter are not a bad thing. It's just that they push you a little bit more. They make things, if there's, again, as I mentioned, the cracks in the foundation, were there cracks in your career, and Jupiter coming along busted the crack wide open so that you finally did something about it, changed careers, or maybe you got a new boss or moved into a new industry, whatever the case may be. Now, if you're not working, This could have been about retirement and changes to your retirement, or changes to plans to your retirement. If your true midheaven and true IC run through Gemini and Sagittarius, then I have no doubt this would have impacted your career in some way, shape, or form, or retirement, or place of living, home, living situation, family, extended family members. I can go on and on here because this is a big angular house. So Virgo, I have no doubt that something in your life should have changed in some way, shape, or form. Relationships, how you relate one-on-one to people, your home life, your living circumstance, your living situation. It might have expanded on the family front, or something to do with family would have changed. And then you, quite literally, maybe you might have changed in some way, shape, or form. So the good news is, Virgo, depending on how you liked that transit or not, Jupiter is moving on to Cancer, and he'll be making really nice opportunity aspects coming in from your 11th house. So the 11th house is all about older siblings, if you do have older siblings, but this is about friendship circles, groups, humanitarian efforts, unions, professional memberships, professional associations that you hang out with, networking. This is also your role with these people, with these groups of people, whatever that may be. It's the people that you surround yourself with by choice. 11th house is all about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. Jupiter is going to expand on that. This is the house of social media. So if you haven't already done so, Virgo, and you own a business, run a business, trying to put yourself out there, whatever the case may be, get on social media. This is the year to definitely do it and challenge yourself to put yourself out there. Because Virgo, this is like the green light. Jupiter should expand this area of life for you. And this includes social media. This includes the internet. Get that website up and running. You know, there's so many platforms out there now where you can build your own website. You do not need to hire a professional. I didn't hire a professional for my website. It ain't no, you know, fancy schmancy thing, but I mean, I built it myself thanks to all the platforms out there that can do this kind of stuff for you for like very reasonable cost. And you can do it yourself. Like I said, you don't have to hire anybody unless you want to. If you want to hire someone, this is the time to do it, because you will find the people that can help you raise up that audience, or again, the platforms, whatever you want to use. Put yourself out there on social media, because you could really expand your business if you do run a business or own a business, or again, if you're trying to like advertise yourself, whatever the case. I just heard real estate. I don't know, maybe some of you are real estate agents, but regardless, put yourself out there and you'll attract in the people that you need, because this is also the house of what supports you, what lifts you up, and this is the house of the future. So it's time to plan, Virgo. If you haven't already done so, I can't believe I'm saying this to a Virgo, but like, of course you've already planned. You're like the epitome of analytical planning. So, but maybe that's not the case for all of you, but this is a really nice time to start planning for the future and start thinking big. Jupiter will help you with that, because Jupiter is all about go big or go home. He doesn't know the difference. He just keeps pouring in blessings. It could be overwhelming. I'm going to warn you right now, it could be overwhelming. You could have a lot of things coming your way, coming in from this 11th house. Or again, you could be rubbing shoulders with the right people, networking with the right people, and suddenly like everybody wants a piece of you. You know, it can be overwhelming. Like that's what Jupiter can also bring in, which is good. But again, we're just humans. We can't operate 24/7 without sleeping, right? So I'm also going to heed that caution for you, Virgo. Don't bite off more than you can chew. That's definitely something I think a lot of us learned with Jupiter and Gemini. It just, maybe you're one of them, where in the 10th house, it brought you a lot of career opportunities and amped up your duty, responsibility, and you kind of went, holy cow, this is like too much. I might need to take a step back here, or I might actually have to ask for help, right? So anyway, I don't want to Debbie down this transit though, Virgo. This is going to be nice for all of us. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is our lightning post. This is where we need to come back to kind of lean on for that support. And for you, it's in a social house, quite literally. It's leaning on those people, places, and things that you can lean on for that support, that can ground you. And this is also really going to bring to your attention, I think, people that lift you up and support you versus people that don't really do that in your life. You know, Jupiter can also bring in these new people that will lift you up. And maybe it's time to let some friendships go, or just kind of don't spend so much time with them, right? Because Jupiter is going to expand you and should bring in new people that you can rely on, versus be mindful of your current friendship circles and how are they speaking to you. Do they believe in you? Do they support your dreams or your business or whatever? Or are they kind of bringing you down and saying, you can't do that. Like, who are you? You can't do that. Just something to be mindful. Because yeah, Jupiter will do that. You know, cracks in the foundation. Jupiter is going to crack them wide open for you to see once and for all. You can't put plaster over it. If there's a big hole in your wall, right? You got to do something about it. So now Virgo, let's see here. If you're watching for your sun sign, again, this could be more career opportunities coming in from this 11th house. Or if it's your moon sign, this could be quite literally something to do with home, family, foundation. Jupiter does rule your 4th house. If this is truly your 4th house, again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But there could be expansion or room, making room to expand on the home front in some way, shape, or form. So people moving in, people moving out, renovating, like building a addition on your home or building on your property or something to do with property, buying and selling. Benefits coming in for mother figures, female figures, father figures, or father-like figures, male figures in your life as well. So it could be that if you're watching for Virgo moon. Now, if it's your rising sign, this is about how you present yourself to the world. It's how you perceive the world around you. It's sort of like the glasses we wear, the rising sign. How people see you is also the rising sign as well. It's kind of that first impression we make with individuals. So again, Jupiter could be bringing in opportunities, again, like we talked about, from those social circles, from this 11th house of groups, social butterfly, networking, rubbing shoulders with the right people. This could also be synchronicity, being in the right place at the right time. So something could change from that angle. Now for you, this is also hitting, if you're watching for your rising sign, that means that your love line runs through Pisces. So Jupiter making a trine to your relationship sector is incredible energy, Virgo. So lucky you, you have blessings coming in also to your relationships, how you relate one-on-one to people. So this could be marriage. This could be taking the next step with a partner, whether this is in love or in business, or just regardless, one-on-one with people. This is working in your favor. This is making you almost look magnetic to another individual as well. If you're single and looking, Jupiter could bring in someone, because Jupiter is your relationship planet. He rules Pisces and he also rules Sagittarius. So you could definitely meet sorry, they're chattering to me and I'm like, okay, enough. Because this is a general reading, so I don't know who it would be for, but like I'm hearing the love of your life. So I'm going to throw it out there, but I mean, it's a general reading, so this might not apply for all of you, but this could be meeting a love relationship, obviously within social circles, right? Or humanitarian efforts or things like that. So really nice energy coming in, not only to you, Virgo, but also to your partnerships as well. This is good for your partner too. If you're already connected to someone, this is really nice energy coming in for them as well. So blessings should be coming into their life as well. Or it could be changes too, coming into their life. Let's see here. And yeah, Virgo, last but not least, I do have the dates on the slide here. Think back 12 years ago, the last time Jupiter was in Cancer. Think back to these time periods, because similar themes could be coming up at this time. Not the exact same thing, but similar activations, similar themes could be coming in for you that happened back in 2013, 2014, and beyond that. So Virgo, enjoy this transit and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Libra, let's talk about where Jupiter will be expanding an area of life for you over the next year. So Jupiter wrapping up in your 9th house, which would have been bringing in hopefully harmonious energy into your Libran planets, placements, points. Some of you might have not even felt this. You know, Jupiter trines, it's just an easy flow type of energy. So it honestly depends on how you utilize this energy. It could have been just maybe an easier year than usual, or again, depending on your circumstances and the planet placement point that you're watching for. Some of you might have noticed this and some of you might not. That's what I noticed about Jupiter trines, is they're blessings and harmony coming in, but sometimes you don't even notice it. You know, sometimes it's just not something noticeable. Now, this transit, I think you're going to notice, Libra. I'm going to open it up to that. Not trying to be negative here, but I think this one you will notice because it's a square to your planets, placements, points. But anyway, let's back up here. Jupiter was in your 9th house for an entire year, making trines, making harmonious aspects to your planets, placements, points. So 9th house is all about religion and spirituality, legal matters, higher education, teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, writing, publishing, putting yourself out there. This is also about long distance traveling, tripping around the globe. Ethics, belief systems might have gone through some changes. Anything to do with foreign lands, foreign cultures. This is international matters, period, with Jupiter in the 9th house. Also dealing with people from all over the globe. And as I mentioned, 9th house is all about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Now, Jupiter is moving. Sorry, before I mention that, hopefully Jupiter brought in some blessings. With all the stuff I rambled off there, hopefully Jupiter helped you in some way, shape, or form. 9th house is also about citizenship, immigration, paperwork. So hopefully if that applies to you, Jupiter maybe helped you out with those areas of life, Libra. Now, this transit with Jupiter moving to literally the top of your sky, if Cancer is truly your 10th house, this is going to be all about your career, your status, your reputation, your public image, the legacy that you want to leave behind. This is about your long-term commitments and goals. This could also be about retirement or planning for retirement or saving for retirement or expanding on the retirement front. This could also be about authority figures in your life. So bosses, father figures, mother figures, there could be changes coming in for them as well. Also you as a parent, Libra, this could also be some sort of changes or challenges on the parent front from your angle, your perspective, or like I said, you could be dealing with a parental situation at this time. Now, for those of you not working, apply this to your situation. So this is at the top of your sky. This is in a public area of your life. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you a dog walker? Do you get involved with humanitarian efforts? Do you get involved with what is happening in your local community, your local focus? How are you contributing to the greater good? Are you opening up your home? You could be opening up your home this year, by the way, to family, to other people, or again, social circles that you connect with. Because Jupiter does rule your 3rd house of local activity. So again, apply this to your circumstance as well, Libra. This is, for those of you not working, this is a continuation of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and helping, something to do with helping out your local environment as well, is what I keep hearing for you. Libra, this could also be about pets and animals, because Jupiter is your animal planet as well, because he rules your 6th house of work. Now, for those of you that are working, this could be full on. This could definitely bring in the career that you want. As I mentioned, if you listen to the intro of my Jupiter video here, Jupiter at this angle to you is going to, again, expand on that crack in the wall, so to speak. I don't mean quite literally, but again, in your career. If you're not happy in your career, Libra, Jupiter will help you get out of it. Jupiter is going to help you get the hell out of any circumstance that you don't like being in. And also apply this to your relationships, because at the same time, he's making a square down to your descendant. So if you're watching for your Libra rising, this is about you. This is about how you present yourself to the world. This is the lens, the glasses that you wear, like how you perceive things. It's also how people see you as well. It's kind of like that first impression that you make with individuals. Now, that means your descendant, if you're watching for your rising, that means your love line runs right through Aries. Well, Jupiter at some point will make a square to that descendant. So if you are not in a job that you like, if you're not in a relationship that you like, this could be in love or business, Libra, Jupiter is going to help you get out of it. Jupiter, again, is going to expand the frustration, which I'm sorry to say, but this is what Jupiter does. He brings you this blessing of opening up your eyes to say, you know what? Holy, I've been on autopilot. I need to get out of this job. I need to get out of this situation. I need to get out of this living circumstance. You know, it could also be about a home situation too. Because if your midheaven runs through Cancer and your IC runs through Capricorn, this is also going to activate your home life. This is big angles of the chart. All the cardinal signs are being activated over the next year. So that's Aries, that's Capricorn, that's you, and that's Cancer. Jupiter is helping all of these cardinal signs, not only with brand new beginnings in 2025 and 2026, but pushing you out, pushing you to change your life, to change your circumstances, to change your even your living scenario. If you don't like where you're living, this could be an activation to the home line as well. Well, Cancer is the epitome of home, family, foundation, Libra. So I'm not trying to scare you, not trying to doom and gloom you. At the end of the day, a Jupiter square is a hell of a lot better to deal with than a Saturn square or a Pluto square or a Neptune square. So Jupiter is working with you, whether you realize it or not, but he's going to give you the power and the oomph to move through these energies this year, Libra. Now, if it's your sun sign, if you're watching for your sun sign, again, this is about your career, opportunities coming in for your career, which is good. This could also be about father figures in your life, or male figures in your life. If you're watching for a Libra moon, this is about something to do with the home front. So home, family, your living circumstances, your living situation. Maybe you're going to renovate, maybe you're going to expand, maybe you're going to do an addition, maybe you're going to welcome people into your home. Like I mentioned, maybe you're going to open up your home to other people as well, kind of like a safe haven or helping people in some. Maybe you're going to start working from home, working one-on-one with individuals. If you work with homes like real estate, property, buying, selling, this should be a good year. I mean, it's going to be hard work because Jupiter's not flowing to you, but he'll bring you in those opportunities and challenge you to be the very best you can be and bring in that abundance that you want. Moon is also the emotional body as well. So Libra, emotions could go up, emotions could go down this year. This is not only for you, but this is for all of us. But especially if this is talking an aspect with your moon, you're really going to feel it on the emotional body front, like quite physically your body, or something to do with a home, right? Home, family, living circumstance could be changing too. And we covered off the rising sign. Also Libra, let's see here. This could have something to do with changes with or expansion with siblings, cousins, neighbors, again, something to do with your local community because Jupiter does rule that as well. And yeah, work. See, Jupiter is one of your work planets as well. So again, blessings coming in with work. If anything, Libra, yeah, definitely a nice year to put yourself out there if you want to change your career, your business, living circumstances, whatever the situation is. Think back to June of 2013 to July of 2014. That's the last time we had Jupiter in Cancer. And again, you can keep going backwards by 12 years if you want to kind of look back in the past to see what was happening in your life at that time. If anything not so good happened back then, it doesn't mean that the same thing's going to happen, because I have a feeling it might have been another reason. It could have been, okay, where were the eclipses back then? Where was Pluto? Where was Saturn? Where was Uranus? Where was Neptune? Where were the bigger other heavy hitters in the sky? Or the eclipse cycle for that matter. So keep that in mind, because Jupiter is not the doom and gloom planet. He wants to lift us up. He wants to expand us. He wants to teach us. He's one of the teacher planets along with Saturn, but Saturn does it in a different way. Jupiter teaches in obviously a different way, where he more so tries to lift us up than give us those more challenging experiences like Saturn does. Anyway, Libra, enjoy this transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, let's talk about the area of life that Jupiter will be expanding for you over the next year. So Jupiter spent the past year in your 8th house of Gemini. So let's go over what the 8th house is, and hopefully one of these things will resonate with you, whereas Jupiter hopefully expanded this area of life to you or for you. So 8th house is all about the subconscious or psychological matters. A really great transit for healing. So for those of you that needed that, hopefully you took advantage of that. This is like finding the right practitioner to help you out. 8th house was all about big life changes. It is a financial house, so it could have been definitely tied to a financial decision in some way, shape, or form. 8th house is all about rebirth, death and rebirth. I don't mean quite literally you're dead, Scorpio, but it's that more so the mentality of letting something go so something new can be born of the situation, whatever the case may be. 8th house is all about transforming, again, whatever area of life. Could have been a transformation of your finances. 8th house is also about taxes, debts, and loans. So maybe with Jupiter here, you got that mortgage, or you got that car loan, or whatever the case may be. You bought that property, whatever, you know, again, apply this to your circumstance. So Jupiter could have also expanded your debt. But again, with Jupiter here, hopefully it's good debt and not bad debt, Scorpio. 8th house is also about shared finances, shared resources, shared property. So Jupiter up here hopefully benefited you, possibly for those of you that are connected to a business partner or are in a marital or love relationship. Jupiter here would have benefited you by expanding your partner's resources, your partner's money, and hopefully that helped you out in some way, shape, or form as well. 8th house is shadow work for those of you interested in that. 8th house is sexuality and deep intimacy. So hopefully Jupiter expanded that area of life for you as well between the sheets. 8th house is also about power, fear, and control issues. So if those bubbled up to the surface over the past year, Scorpio, this would have been an opportunity to work with a therapist or counselor or a social worker, whatever the case may be, to help you move through those energies as well. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I didn't do that. I mean, with Jupiter in your 9th house, making a really nice trine down to your planet's placements point, it's never too late to start working through those energies now. It's, you know, it's not a cookie cutter, like, okay, June is here, now you move on to a new area of life. No, you want to make sure you close out that 8th house cycle before you start taking on all this newness that's coming down the pipe for you in this 9th house. So 9th house, first of all, bringing in blessings to your planet's placements point, Scorpio. So lucky you that you have Jupiter at the top of your sky in your 9th house. So what is the 9th house? It's all about religion, spirituality, whatever that means for you, ethics, belief systems, again, whatever that means for you, legal matters, the law, the justice system. 9th house is also about teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, publishing, book publishing, writing, getting your skills, your talents, your abilities out there. It's part of the top of your sky. So it's being more visible in the public eye. If you want to push yourself and put yourself out there, this is the time, this is the year, I should say, to do it with Jupiter at the top of your sky. Jupiter up here is all about travel too. He is the planet of international matters and international travel. So Scorpio, if you're looking to travel long distance, I'm guessing you probably will over the next year. You know, Jupiter wants to expand your horizons. Now for you, it's quite literally expanding your horizons from a travel perspective, Scorpio. So for those of you that wanting to travel or hoping to travel or saving up for travel, this is the year to do it. You don't have to do it this month in June or whenever you're watching this. You don't have to do it right away. You have this energy for an entire year. June to June of next year is when, you have this energy for a long, long time. Ninth house is also about foreign lands, foreign cultures, anything international. So if you have a business, Scorpio, put yourself out there, get on social media, advertise. Now is the time to do it. Maybe start dabbling in other countries or advertising in other countries or expanding your products or supply or whatever the case may be. Now is the time to think big and go big, because you just never know. With Jupiter moving along the top of your sky now, you could become really successful with this, because Jupiter is just waking up. He's literally just waking up at the top of your sky, and he's got a ways to go before he sets, so to speak, on the rising sign or in your Scorpio house, and then he does it all over again, right? It's those Jupiterian cycles I'm referring to if you watched the intro of my video. So Scorpio, hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of some areas of life that he's going to be expanding for your highest good. Also, if you want to dive into anything metaphysical or in anything to do with the gods, this is quite literally the house of the gods. So I would say, if you're being called to do it, do it. If you're being called to study astrology or tarot or numerology or anything like that, Scorpio, I would say lean into that, because you just never know where that is going to take you, especially if it leads you to travel. That could, again, expand your horizons in ways that you can't even comprehend right now. So Scorpio, if you're watching for your sun sign, this could be career opportunities coming in. Could be a connection to, again, foreign lands, foreign cultures, or getting a career that's global or across the country or international in some way, shape, or form. But regardless, this should be beneficial for your career if you are still working. Again, if you're retired, apply this to your living circumstances or situations. If this is with your sun, this is also to do with your health and vitality. So again, really nice aspect to possibly take advantage of healing if that resonates with you, or finding the right practitioner to heal. I know for you, I keep hearing travel. Okay, we got that. Sun sign, this could also be father figures, benefits coming in to a father figure or through a father figure, or a male figure in your life. So this could even be bosses or something along those lines, or uncles or grandparents or something like that. If it's your moon sign, this is about expanding on the home front. This is joy and abundance and happiness and luck coming into your home and living circumstance, living situation, expanding, renovating the home, moving. I would have to see your whole chart to absolutely let you know if you're moving or not. It's not making a direct aspect to your IC, but you never know. I'm just going to throw it out there. Making an aspect to the moon definitely is going to impact you on the home front. This is a trine, so this is nice energy coming in on the home front, nice energy coming in also on the emotional front as well for you, Scorpio. And your moon, this could again be benefits coming in from a mother or female figure, or again, an aunt, an uncle. Apply this to your circumstance. But this could be good, positive energy coming in through a male or female family member or an authority figure in your life. And then yes, if it's your rising sign, this is about how you present yourself to the world and how you perceive the world. It's the lenses that we wear of how we walk into this world. It's about those first impressions, and also how people view you, Scorpio, as well. It's, again, this is where that first impression comes in. That's our rising sign. Whenever people get a first impression of us, that's what they see, is our rising sign. Now, your descendant, if you are watching for your rising sign, so this could be, again, harmonious energy coming in for you personally, and it's up to you on how you want to use this energy. Or you might not feel this at all. Like trines from Jupiter, sometimes we don't even notice them because they're harmonious flowing energy. It's the type of energy where, you know, you come home and from a day's work and you're like, you know what, everything went right today. Everything, you know what, everything, I had a good day. That's Jupiter. So again, some of you might notice this transit, but some of you won't. But I really hope, regardless, this is going to be bringing in blessings to multiple areas of your life. Now, as I was mentioning, the descendant, this could be benefits coming in to your partner as well. That means your rising, if you're watching for rising, your descendant runs through Taurus. So Jupiter will be making opportunity aspects to your partnership sector. So this could be good news for not only you, but your partner as well, whether it's a marital partner, a business partner, whatever the case may be. Again, opportunities to travel or connections to foreign lands, foreign cultures is definitely coming in strong for you, Scorpio, over the next year. So if there's any sort of opportunities that come in, I would explore them. I'm not telling you to take every single opportunity that comes your way, but definitely explore them, even if it, again, pushes you outside of your comfort zone. You just never know where you're going to land, because Jupiter is on your side this year. So just keep that in mind. Nice energy coming in for your partner, like I said. And if you are already connected to a partner, this could bring in possibly a partner, making a sextile, again, an opportunity, meeting a special person while you're traveling, or whatever the case may be, or again, traveling with your partner could be really beneficial for you over the next year as well, Scorpio. Otherwise, think back to 2013, 2014. That's the last time Jupiter was in Cancer. I have the dates on the slide here. So think back to what was happening in your life during those times, and something similar could be coming back around. Not the exact same thing, but something similar should be kind of like a same flavor or feeling might be coming in for you over the next year, Scorpio. Otherwise, enjoy this transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, let's talk about Jupiter, your ruler, and what area of life he will be expanding for you over the next year. So Jupiter has been in your opposite sign of Gemini for the past year, expanding you on the relationship front, or how you relate one-on-one to individuals. You know, did some of you get married? Did some of you get divorced? Or did some of you separate and move away from a business partner, or a business, or career, or work, or love, or friendship circles? This is your 101 house, Sagittarius, and it could have went either way. Like, I'm not Debbie Downing this transit in Gemini that we just experienced, but I mean, you tell me, because oppositions are really going to make those cracks in your foundations of your relationships become very apparent, very clear. Now, if you're sitting there saying, no, I'm still with my partner and I'm happy as can be, that's cool. But I know some of you out there, if you're especially a Sagittarius rising, or even a Sagittarius sun or moon for that matter, I guess, you know, not all of you are 100% content with your partnerships and your relationships, whatever that means for you. It might not be about love. Like I said, it might be about business or family or friends or whatever the case may be. And again, this is your ruler. So you would have really felt this over the past year, opposing you, and Jupiter kind of challenging you to step outside your comfort zone, to make those business moves, to make those career moves or side hustles, or again, getting away from a partner or a partnership that just is not working for you anymore, Sagittarius. So again, these are just examples. I'm not saying all of you got divorces, but I certainly know some of you might have separated during this transit, because oppositions are also separations too, quite naturally. So anyway, with that said, my point is he's moving on. He is moving on. Actually, some of you could have got married with Jupiter in your 7th house. Jupiter is the planet of commitment. So maybe some of you actually got married over the past year as well. So, okay. The good news is he's moving on and away from opposing your planet's placements or points in the sky. Again, whatever you're watching for Sag. Now Jupiter is moving into a heavier area of your life. This is the 8th house. So the 8th house is all about deep psychological transformation or transition. This is the house of death and rebirth. And I'm not saying you're going to die, Sag. I'm meaning, think about the phoenix coming out of the ashes, right? Something in your life is going to be let go in this cycle over the past year, so you can come out brand new, like you're a brand spanking new Sagittarian, you know, whatever that may mean for you. Because again, this is your planet. This is tied into your identity, your place in the world, your purpose in the world, your spot in the world, whatever that, you know, whatever that is. And if you're working or not working, apply this to your situation and circumstance. So 8th house is big life changes, big life transformations. And this is also an area of life where you can change a lot of things in your life as well. 8th house is also about taxes, debts, and loans. So Jupiter here again expands. So he could actually make you take on more debt, but this is a good thing. For those of you that want to say buy a house or move or renovate, the funds should be there. You know, even if you don't have the cash in your bank account, you can lean on the bank, right? You can lean on a loan, somebody who's going to give you a loan. Jupiter here will help you with that, get you the finances you need to expand in whatever you want. Again, a car loan, a home loan, renovation loan, a business loan, whatever the case may be. Your tax rebate over the next year hopefully will be also bigger than normal, because again, Jupiter will expand this area of life. 8th house is also about shared resources and finances and property and debts and loans as well. So again, Jupiter here could benefit your partner in some way, shape, or form. So for those of you that are connected in a love relationship or a business partnership or whatever, again, some of you could be connected to a family member financially too. This is expanding on that. So this is good news. This is not only going to line your partner's pockets, this is going to line your pockets as well, Sag. So that's definitely should be good news coming in as well. Inheritance is here as well. So again, I'm not saying someone's going to die. I want to make that clear, Sag. This is Jupiter after all. This is not Saturn or Pluto I'm talking about. But inheritance could be coming your way. So again, in general, this is a financial access. It should line your pockets, whether you are lining your own pockets or a partner's pockets get lined, and it benefits you in some way, shape, or form. Let's see here. 8th house is also about the shadow. So for those of you that want to dive deep this year into psychological matters, this is the year to do it, because Jupiter is going to help you with that as well. Also, I just heard something about like spirituality, incorporating spirituality as well, that would probably help you. Religion, spirituality, metaphysical, whatever your belief systems are, they're saying that will help you as well. Like leaning on your belief systems, if you're going through anything challenging or difficult, lean on that as well, they're saying. 8th house is also about sexuality and deep intimacy. So again, Sag, this will expand. So hopefully you'll get more of that this year, some spiciness between the sheets. So there's good news for you there. And 8th house is also about fear, power, and control issues. So again, if any of that bubbles up to the surface this year, and you're kind of like, where did that come from? Or Jupiter will make it really noticeable. That's his part of his purpose, is he makes things big so we finally deal with them and we finally face them head on. So if any of that bubbles up, again, work with a practitioner, medical, spiritual, whatever, somebody that can help you through these emotions. Okay, I don't know if leaning on your partner or leaning on a friend will exactly do it. You might have to find a professional, especially if these things start bubbling up and they're I'm almost feeling like in the chest. Just make sure you're working with the right individuals that can help you move through these emotions, because at the end of the day, Jupiter is beneficial. He's a good helping planet. But the thing is, he expands, right? So anything that you've been suppressing, Jupiter is going to bring it up for you to deal with, Sagittarius. So anyway, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here. So I hope you don't feel that way. I'm just trying to be realistic, because I mean, the 8th house is like talking about Pluto. It's bringing up the sludge. It's bringing up the darker things of life. It's turning over those rocks and seeing what's squiggling and moving underneath. Okay. So I'm trying to describe that as best as I can without making it sound toxic, right? This is again Jupiter. He's here to help you. And Sag, like, you got Saturn and Neptune on your side for many, many, many years, which I made separate videos about if you want to check that out. But yeah, Jupiter here is just going to help you clean out the closet, clean out the sludge for when Jupiter moves into Leo, and then you got this big giant fire trine, and it's like all systems go, Sag. Let's get on the gas pedal, let's get rolling. But for now, Jupiter is asking you to deal with certain things or deal with a financial matter before you can move on. So Jupiter is actually not making any aspects to you. He's kind of making an inconjunct to your planet's placements points. And yeah, that sounds about as awkward as it, that is about as awkward as it sounds. An inconjunct. So he's not directly hitting you, Sag, but you will notice this. Think back to June of 2013 to July of 2014. This is the last time we had this transit. So similar themes could be coming up at this time. Not the exact same thing could happen, because again, there's other players on the chessboard here. It's not just about Jupiter, but Jupiter is your ruler. So wherever Jupiter goes, you and Pisces are impacted by this the most, because both of you are ruled by this energy, by this sign. So this is where your personal chart comes in, Sag. Where are you in your Jupiter cycle? Where is your Jupiter? Are you coming up to your Jupiter return? Are you in one of your Jupiter squares? This is where I'm curious where Jupiter is talking the rest of your chart. That's where additional layers can come on. Jupiter does rule the bottom of your sky, Sag, so this could also be changes on the home front. Expansion, growth, renovations, again, moving, buying, selling of property, because Jupiter is, if your IC is in Pisces, he will be trining your home line and trining your career line, Sag, if your midheaven and IC runs through Virgo and Pisces. So at the end of the day, if that's true, he'll be pouring in blessings into your career. Or if you don't work, this would be pouring blessings into that retirement sector. But home, family, foundation, ancestry, roots could also be coming up for you at this time as well, Sag. Otherwise, enjoy this transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, let's talk about the area of life that Jupiter will be expanding for you over the next year. But let's start with where he has been over the past year. So 6th house matters would have been in focus for you over the past year. Now, Jupiter in the 6th house, Capricorn, I hope brought you in some opportunities to expand on the job front, on the work front, on the being of service front. So for those of you that aren't working, were you called to be of service, and how were you called to be of service? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Cap, was this overwhelming? I'm a Cap rising, and yeah, this made my head spin off a few times. I was quite grateful for the retrograde that happened starting in October of 2024 all the way until February, because wow, like work got busy, things got busy, duty and responsibility amped up. This is also the house of health and pets and their well-being, our well-being, health and well-being, fitness, diet, routines, regimes, nutrition, anything that we put in our mouth. This could have been the workplace, so just busyness overall of the workplace. 6th house also rules co-workers and the environment that you work in if you do work. This 6th house is also about if you own a business, run a business, Capricorn, or if you're a manager or a leader. This is also the people that work with you and work for you, especially if you own your own business. This is like hiring people that work for you. This could also be hiring people to like cut your grass, remove your snow, I don't know, clean your gutters out, paint your decks, things like that, Capricorn. So this could have been quite busy, I'm guessing, for all of you Capricornians out there. Of course, depending on what you're watching for, because the 6th house doesn't make any direct aspects to Capricorn. It's more of an inconjunct, and yeah, that's pretty much as awkward as it sounds. But it doesn't mean he didn't expand or try to expand this area of life, Capricorn. So hopefully he brought in some sort of blessing, because at the end of the day, that's what Jupiter wants for each and every one of us, is he wants us to expand in the area of life that he's transiting. And he also wants to bring us those blessings, or he tries to bring us those blessings. But sometimes, like I said, this transit really made me realize how overwhelming this was for a lot of people, and they took on way too much. But like I said, once the retrograde hit, I know a lot of people that kind of like just dead stopped, and we're pretty exhausted. So anyway, Capricorn, I'm not sure if that's how you responded to it, because again, it depends on what you're watching for. Now let's talk about where he's moving into. So now he is going to be activating your Capricornian planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for right now. 7th house is pretty straightforward. This is the house of marriage. This is the house of partnership. Now, when I say partnership, this is in business, this is in love, this is with friendship circles, family, whoever you're in bed with, quite literally, or whoever you have that one-on-one connection with. This is your one-on-one relationships, connections with people, day-to-day stuff. So it's beyond just love. People think, 7th house is just love. No, it's beyond that. It's how you interact with people one-on-one. And there could be some Capricorns getting married over the next year. When Jupiter is transiting the 7th house, this is really nice for marriage. This is really nice for making a commitment to someone or something. Now, if you're already married, this could be making a recommitment to that partner and spending more time with that partner. Also, blessings. This is, blessings coming into the partnership for both you and your partner. Now, with that said, though, this is an opposition, Capricorn. So I'm going to be honest with you here. Yes, Jupiter is a benefic. Yes, he's a blessing. Yes, he's a joy to work with. Yes, he brings in abundance. But he also expands anything he touches, like I said at the beginning intro of my video here. Cracks in the walls, cracks in the foundations of your home, cracks in your relationships, cracks in your marriage. That is going to expand this year. So like I said, he expands the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, right? So if you've been just kind of ignoring your marital problems, if you've been ignoring your relationship problems, this could be at work, this could be in your business, this could be, a person is not, somebody that's working for you or with you is not cutting it anymore. It's not, it just doesn't feel right anymore. It's just, the need might not be there anymore. Jupiter is going to make sure you do something about it this year, Capricorn. And I'm not, forgive me, I'm not trying to be negative, not trying to be a Debbie Downer. At the end of the day, this is a blessing. This is the silver lining of Jupiter. He makes it known, he busts that crack open this wide, so you cannot ignore it anymore, Capricorn. Now, oppositions are manifestation. So this could be really good for the career front. This could be really good for money. This could be really good for your business. This could be really good for your relationships. But this is also a compromise. You might need to compromise this year in the relationship sector. You might need to rebalance something. This is also, you and Cancer are the work-life balance signs. So that's, you're constantly trying to rebalance those, right? Jupiter is going to also make that well known as well. And this is about integrating the changes. You'll notice this next year when Jupiter moves into Leo in mid-2026, where you need to integrate these changes that come up over the next year, possibly when he moves into your 8th house of finances and resources. This is slow. This could be slow, consistent change because it is Jupiter after all. It's not Uranus, where Uranus is a little bit more rapid, where Jupiter is slow, steady, consistent change. Now, that doesn't mean something rapid couldn't come in or change on a dime. But yeah, Jupiter is usually take it slow, go slow, but it's taking those next steps. Oppositions can also mean separation. So I am going to throw it out there. Now, for those of you that are happily married, please don't panic. This is definitely not for everyone. This message is not for everyone, I should say. This is where your personal birth chart comes in. And my question to you, if I was working with a client, I would say, well, how is your marriage? How is your relationships? You know, when people come to me and ask, well, how is my marriage going to be? I say, well, how's it going? And if they say, well, not so well, guess what? Jupiter here is a blessing. Jupiter here will help you separate from a relationship that's not working, Capricorn. And please apply this to either marriage, common law, or if you're just dating somebody, whether they're new or old, meaning a new relationship or an old relationship, or maybe this is work. Maybe this is, you know what, I can't stand this employer anymore. I can't stand this business anymore. I'm moving on. So again, apply this to your circumstance. I'm not trying to instill fear. I'm not trying to instill panic. I want to be crystal clear. I do not have your personal birth chart in front of me, Capricorn. So I'm just basing it by this empty birth chart that's sitting in front of me, quite literally. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But there's something that's going to be changing in your relationships this year, Capricorn. And again, this depends on how you want to take this energy. Regardless, this is big expansion coming in. For those of you that are single, this could definitely bring in a marital partnership. Like somebody that's serious. Jupiter and Saturn are the planets I look for when it comes to relationships and how they interact with the 7th house. And wherever your moon is in your chart, Capricorn, that's your relationship planet. So how is Jupiter talking to your moon, right? That's another signifier for a relationship coming in. Well, Jupiter, if you're a Capricorn rising, this is Jupiter hitting your love line. So this could definitely bring in a serious partnership that's marital material. If that doesn't resonate, this is, again, think of it from a business perspective or a friendship perspective or a family perspective. Jupiter does rule your 3rd house. So this could be a sibling, a cousin, a neighbor, a relative coming in as well, bringing in blessings too. So like I said, Capricorn, I hope I did not instill fear, just trying to be real. You out of all signs, I hope I can do this with. I can't do this with a lot of other signs without getting that negative feedback. But I hope you can understand, like, yeah, life comes with blessings, but also life comes with some challenges too. That's called life. That's called this existence. That's what we signed up for. So Capricorn, if this is, as I mentioned, your sun sign, if you're watching for your sun sign, this is, again, expansion on the career front. This should be good news coming in the career front. Or again, if you're looking to get out of a career, if you're looking to find a new employer, Jupiter could help you do that as well by, again, bringing in that manifestation of finding a new employer, bringing in more cash flow or bring in more abundance or whatever you're looking for in or out of this relationship. If it's your moon sign, again, this could be a partnership coming in, something to do with a partnership, something to do with a rebalancing of you and them, whether it's in business or in love or whatever the case may be. Opposing your moon, this is changes on the home front though too. It changes with the emotional body as well. Again, balancing work-life balance, balancing your emotions. I just also heard hormones. So if, especially for the females that are watching, yeah, I don't know, maybe there's something you got to check out with the hormones, because Jupiter can also bring that to your attention. If you're feeling like your body's going through some changes, get checked out. Get a second opinion about that kind of stuff. You just never know. Because again, Jupiter is bringing things to your awareness and attention during this transit, especially. And Capricorn, you'll feel it more in your body with this transit. Because whether you're watching for your moon, your sun, or your rising, you'll feel this in your body, quite literally. If it is your rising sign, we kind of talked about that. So this could be about how you relate one-on-one to individuals. Maybe something needs to change. Again, this could be a new partner coming in with love, business, friendship, whatever the case may be. So apply this to your circumstance, Capricorn. And again, it's hitting also your rising sign. So this is about how you present yourself to the world could be changing. Your identity could be changing. Take care of your health and well-being too, Capricorn. Again, if anything wonky comes up with your health and well-being, look into it. Do me a favor, look into it. If you didn't do that while Jupiter was in your 6th house of health, please, Capricorn, do me a favor and do it during this transit. Also, with your rising sign, this is about how people view you. This is like first impressions. So actually, Capricorn, this might actually make you more, a little bit more jovial, a little bit different, a little bit more expansive. Like your personality might really come out over the next year, because again, Jupiter's expanding you quite literally if it's your rising sign, meaning like think Santa Claus, you know, you're going to have a little jollier way about you over the next year, Capricorn, which is nothing wrong with that. Also humor. I heard, yeah, some of you, this will incorporate more humor into your life as well, Capricorn. Anyway, I hope, oh yes, and think back to, I have the dates on the slide here. Think back to these time frames of your life, starting June 2013, July 2014. That's the last time we had this transit, Capricorn. Think back to those times. Similar themes could be coming up at this time. Not the exact same though, but similar flavorings, if that makes sense, could be coming in during this time. Otherwise, Capricorn, enjoy this expansive transit on the relationship front, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Aquarius, let's talk about Jupiter and what area of life he's going to be expanding for you over the next year. First, let's talk about where he was over the past year. So in Gemini, in your 5th house, he would have been bringing in harmonious blessings into the planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for right now in Aquarius. So this would have been actually a very beneficial transit for you, Aquarius. But maybe some of you felt this, maybe some of you didn't. I noticed with Jupiter trines, sometimes people just don't even notice it. Honestly, because again, it's just nice flowing energy. It's smooth. It just, again, sometimes we don't even notice it. Jupiter trines are like, you know, you come home from a day's work or whatever, or if you're volunteering or if you're retired. And at the end of the day, you're like, you know what? It was a good day. It was a good day. Everything went smooth. Everything went fine. I took my little walk or whatever. Or I did this and did that. That's a Jupiter trine. So again, maybe some of you felt this, maybe some of you didn't. But anyway, the 5th house was over the past year. This is where Jupiter was expanding. So this is all about love, romance, dating. For those of you that were single, keyword were single, you know, did you meet somebody special over the past year? Because Jupiter would have brought in some pretty serious partnerships, I would say, especially with Jupiter involved. This is like marriage material, you know, and with Jupiter hopping into your 7th house starting in 2026, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is some Aquarians getting married, you know, to the partner that you met over the past year. That's not for all of you, but that's definitely for some of you who met the special person over the past year while he was transiting your house of, again, this is a really fun house. So this is also about kids, grandchildren. Hopefully this brought in blessings in their lives as well, Aquarius. This is love affairs, this is romance, this is dating, this is sex, this is creativity, this is self-expression, a little bit of drama, joy, pleasure, having a good time, Aquarius. So I hope you took advantage of this energy, Aquarius, or this energy found you in some way, shape, or form. Again, apply this to your circumstance. If you're already married in a committed relationship, hopefully this brought the spark back, the life back. You were able to go on some dates. You were able to incorporate that back into your busy schedule if you do have kids, or if you know, watching the grandkids or whatever the case may be. This is just bringing the spark back into your life over the past year. Now, this year, Jupiter is transiting a new area of life. Now, this is your 6th house, and it's kind of a heavy, busy house. It's the house of being of service, Aquarius. So again, whether you're working or not, apply this to your circumstances. So if you're not working, it's about being of service. You might be called to something bigger over the next year, and I would encourage you to heed that call, to lean into that opportunity, because you just never know where that might take you and the blessings that are going to find you. Again, synchronicity could be finding you over the next year. Now, if you're working and if you're looking to change jobs, this is the year to do it, Aquarius. Jupiter moving through the 6th house, definitely opportunities to change your work, whatever that means for you. Now, I would recommend put yourself out there. You have this energy an entire year. So put yourself out there on work platforms, get your resume out there, start applying. That you're going to have this energy all year long. So my recommendation would be is put yourself out there so you can be found. I also think recruiters, you could get headhunted. You could have recruiters coming at you too and offering you multiple opportunities. And you'll have this all year long. So Aquarius, if you're unemployed right now, my goodness, put yourself out there, because I almost guarantee by the end of this transit, you must have a job lined up. You got to have a job lined up because Jupiter will bring in that blessing of work and being of service. Now, for those of you that own a business, run a business, you're a manager and you're content with what you're doing, this is just changes and expansion on the work front. So this could be coworkers coming and going. This could be, again, blessings coming into the workplace, more harmony coming into the workplace and with the people that you work with. If you own a business and you're responsible for hiring people, this is the time to do it. And again, thank God this energy is going to be with you for an entire year. With Jupiter here, the right people will find their way to you. So if your business or company, advertise, put yourself out there. You are the sign of technology after all, and the future after all. Plus you got Pluto, powerhouse Pluto in your first house, being a magnet for you and bringing in those people, attracting in those powerful people that will help you in your business or your service or expanding on the work front in some way, shape, or form. This is even hiring, if you're looking to hire someone to paint your house, cut your lawn, shovel your snow, whatever the case may be. This is also really nice energy coming in for you as well, of finding the right people to work with you and to work for you, Aquarius. So that's the good news there. Sixth house is also day-to-day duty and responsibility. So I'm going to put it out there that, yeah, day-to-day duty and responsibility might pick up. I'm just going to throw it out there because, yes, Jupiter is going to expand, meaning bring you in more responsibility. I mean, it's not like the responsibility Saturn brings into you, but this transit could be overwhelming, Aquarius. I'm just going to put it out there. So if you're one of those people that take on multiple jobs and take on a whole bunch of duties and responsibilities when it comes to your kids or when it comes to social circles or humanitarian efforts or friends or family or whatever, this might make your head spin. I'm just going to put it out there, Aquarius. So not in a bad way, okay? It really depends on what you can handle. But one thing I learned with Jupiter moving through the sixth house, I just experienced this over the past year. It was incredible. But I was exhausted by the time Jupiter went retrograde, which will happen in a few months, like, I don't know, a few months from now, or sorry, depending on when you're watching this, of course. But Jupiter will eventually go retrograde in Cancer. That's when you can take a break, and that's when you'll realize you like took on so much stuff. So Aquarius, like, everybody's different. Everybody can handle stress and taking on a lot of work in different ways. So I'm just going to caution you on that, because Jupiter, again, Jupiter doesn't know any better. Jupiter just wants to bring you blessings and expansion and opportunity and blah, 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 blah. Like, he doesn't really know when to stop. He's not going to stop. The only time he's going to stop is when he goes retrograde. So anyway, Aquarius, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be real with you that, yeah, this is such a good transit for you, but it can also make you take on a lot of duty and responsibility that maybe is not entirely 100% yours. So I'm just going to put it out there. Otherwise, Aquarius, yeah, he's not really making any aspects to you this year. That'll happen when Jupiter hops into Leo, and I'll talk about that next year in more detail. Think back, if you want, to June 2013, July 2014. I have the dates on the slide here if you want to take a screenshot. This is the last time Jupiter went through Cancer. So think back to these life cycles. If you want to go beyond the 80s and 90s, just keep going backwards 12 years. That's the last time Jupiter was in Cancer. And it'll kind of give you a flavor and idea of what could be coming down the pipe for you at this time. Also, did I mention health? Yeah, health and well-being, pets. You could get a pet too, Aquarius. If I didn't say that, I apologize. But Jupiter is usually big pets. So you could get like a big dog, or you could get like a horse, or I don't know, farm animals, like big animals. Aquarius. I'm not saying, you know, some of you might go out and buy a little teacup poodle or something like that. But yeah, this is the house of animals. So you could be bringing in new furry friends or reptilian friends into your living space, and also health and well-being, Aquarius. So yeah, please take care of your health. Jupiter, if you haven't been taking care of your health, Jupiter will expand that, meaning you can't ignore it anymore, Aquarius. So if any health hiccups come up over the next year, Jupiter is a blessing. So he not only brings it to your attention so you can't ignore it anymore. This is about finding the right practitioner, finding the right people that can help you heal or can bring in healing, or maybe you can find the underlying cause. Well, Jupiter is in the 6th house as well, because this also is really good for diet, routines, regimes. Jupiter can also make us go overboard though, right? It depends on how you use this energy, but he can also make you stick to a strict routine by bringing something to your attention. And then, like I said, you work with a practitioner, they're going to keep you on track, and hopefully it'll stand the test of time with Jupiter being in here as one of the, because Jupiter is commitment. So, you know, he does sort of rule that marriage partnership aspect of our lives, but also making a commitment to ourselves of being healthy, acting healthy, taking care of our pets, taking care of our loved ones as well, Aquarius. Nice for the home front too. You could be expanding on the home front as well. Jupiter is one of your work planets as well, rules your 2nd house. So again, I know I'm repeating myself, but a really good transit for work and career, whatever you want to do on a day-to-day basis, or whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. And if you're not working, again, how do you want to be of service? I encourage you to get involved with humanitarian efforts if you're not working. And if you're able-bodied too, you know, get involved with your local community and help other people. That would be, I think that would light you up, and I think that would surprise you more than you realize right now, helping other people and giving back, so to speak. All right, Aquarius, enjoy this Jupiter transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, let's talk about your ruler and what area of life he will be expanding for you over the next year. And yes, Jupiter is your ancient ruler. Yes, you're lucky. You got 2 rulers. You have Jupiter and Neptune, but Jupiter is your ancient traditional ruler. So wherever Jupiter goes, whenever he dives into new energy, dives into new signs, you'll feel it. You'll feel it quite personally, you and Sagittarius, because both of you are ruled by Jupiter. So over the past year, Pisces, Jupiter has been in your 4th house of Gemini, expanding on the home front, the family front, ancestry, roots, the past, your place of living, where you come from or where you came from. This is also about retirement or thoughts of retirement or planning for retirement or moving into retirement. This is also the parental access, mom, dad, authority figures, grandparents, bosses. Also you as a parent could have been impacted as well by this cycle. Pisces, did some of you move? If this was your true IC, you know, did some of you move? Did you move for work? Did you move for career? Did you move for retirement? You know, did you, well, I was going to say, did you downsize? I mean, Jupiter in the 4th house, I don't know if you can downsize, because Jupiter, usually when people buy it, the house is bigger, the apartment's bigger, the condo's bigger, and you think you're downsizing, but you're not really. So anyway, Pisces, with Jupiter down at the bottom of your sky, this definitely would have shaken up, whatever you want to call it, changed multiple areas of your life, because this is one of your big angular houses. So if you've been following me for a while, anything that happens in your 1st house, your 4th house, your 7th house, and your 10th house really can ripple out to all areas of life. You have Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house. They're moving along into Aries, but they're not done with you just yet. So you, out of all signs, know that having big planets, heavy hitters like Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house for an extended period of time definitely ripples out to all of your relationships, anything to do with your career, anything to do with retirement, anything to do with home, family, foundation, place of living. So that's where Jupiter was. over the past year activating that area of life, Pisces. Now, the good news is, I know the good news is Saturn and Neptune are getting out of your sign, but those are other videos. Check out my other videos about Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus moving on. But that is good news for you. But Jupiter moving into Cancer is also good news for you because it's trining your planet's placements point. This is supportive energy for growth and expansion. It makes us, I'm going to be honest with you, some of you, the trines, some of you might not even notice. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of noticed that with Jupiter and Venus trines especially. Sometimes you don't notice it. When you have a good day, whether you're working or not working, and at the end of the day, you reflect back and you're like, you know what? Today was a good day. I had a good day. Things just went smoothly. Nothing happened. People at work were actually nice, or, I walked my dogs and everything went fine, or I volunteered at the shelter and you know what? It was just smooth. That is a trine. That is usually Venus or Jupiter talking to you. So like I said, some of you might notice this, some of you won't, but let's dive into the 5th house and see what he could bring to you over the next year. This is a year-long transit, so lucky you, you have this energy. It's kind of like the wind at your back over the next year, Pisces. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, thank God. I know. I know. You guys need this. You out of all the signs, you guys need this. Anyway, 5th house is all about children. So for those of you looking to get pregnant, if you didn't get pregnant with Jupiter in your 4th house, that could bring pregnancy. This could be pregnancy. I'm just going to put it out there. For those of you looking to get pregnant, start a family, expand on the family, home front, definitely Jupiter could bring the blessing of children. Blessing of grandchildren could come in too during this transit. Love affairs. For those of you that are single, I don't know if you'll still be single in a year, Pisces. This could bring in a nice romantic partnership. Jupiter, after all, is the planet of commitment, making a commitment to someone. And Jupiter, even if Saturn was transiting this sign, I would say the same thing, because Saturn literally puts a ring on it, right? These two planets are the social planets, and they definitely can bring in a serious marital relationship into your life. I'm not saying you're going to get married during this transit. Maybe some of you are, because Jupiter is the marriage planet. But for those of you single and looking, yes, this could definitely bring in a new romantic partner. This is also the house of sex too. So again, there could be more action in the bedroom, quite literally, for you over the next year. If you're looking to even just date, definitely, if you get on those apps or however it is that you want to put yourself out there, you could definitely have a lot of prospects coming your way, Pisces. So lucky you if that's what you're looking for. If you're in a committed relationship, I would say just reignite that spark. Find the joy, find the pleasure in each other again. Go on date night, reincorporate date night, go on dates again, travel, get to know one another again, especially if the kids have left the nest. Get to know who you are again, get to know your partner again, right? People change and evolve over time, especially when you go through things, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what marriage is all about. So reignite that flame again. And Jupiter is going to support you with that too. Because this is such a fun house for you, Pisces. I'm so excited for you. Please take advantage of this. And the nice thing is you have this for the entire year. Now, for those of you that none of that resonates with you, this is about creativity and self-expression and hobbies. This is the area of life when, back in the day, they ask you, depending on your age, of course, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? This is where we find that passion, what we want to do. So dive into new hobbies, dive into new, whether it's spirituality, metaphysical, I don't know, whatever lights you up, Pisces, from the inside out, please lean into that. Again, Jupiter in Cancer is going to be our lightning rod this year. It's the only energy that's grounding us down. Besides, of course, whatever you're watching for, if you're a Pisces rising, moon, sun. But there's so much yang energy this year that's just firing up We need this Jupiterian energy to ground down into. So excellent time for side hustles, putting yourself out there. Again, Jupiter is going to expand. Expand, expand, expand. This is where businesses are born. This is where work and career is born. If you're retired, dive into new hobbies, dive into new projects. Jupiter is also your career planet because Sagittarius is at the top of your sky. So this could really be good for career, especially if you own a business, run a business, and you're large and in charge, Pisces, then you drive the bus, you run the show. You can incorporate these new ideas into your business, into your hobbies, into whatever it is in this area of life. This is also the house of gambling and entertainment and joy. Again, just having a good time, Pisces, like letting your hair down, cutting loose, and just having an effing good time. So enjoy this transit. I think you will personally. You should find this year easier, but again, we have a lot of other heavy hitters in the sky. If I was just talking about Jupiter, but again, we have so much new energy coming down the pipe. So as much as I just said that, it could also be a really challenging and disruptive year, but the nice thing is you got Jupiter on your side. You know, some of the other signs don't have this, right? And I mean, Saturn and Neptune are moving into your second house, which is not making any aspects to you unless you have something in Aries that they're going to conjunct, you know? So I just feel like you are one of the unique signs that you'll feel kind of like this weight come off of you. And then Jupiter is going to help you just bring back the joy, bring back that light and spark inside your soul, inside your spirit. And you're going to be like, now it's time to go. Now it's go time. Pisces, if that makes sense. Okay, if you're watching for your Pisces sun, again, a glow up, a blow up with the career. And I don't mean to blow up in a bad way. This is a good thing. This is a trine, people. This is good. This is good news coming to you, Pisces. It might make your head spin, but I mean, regardless, this is good news coming your way when it comes to career or father figures in your life or male figures in your life. If it's your moon sign, excellent energy coming into the home front, home, family, place of living, foundation, expanding the home, beautifying the home, whatever you want to do with the home. Jupiter is there to support you. If it's your rising sign, this is again about how you present yourself to the world, what you're known for. It kind of ties in with our identity. It's sort of that first impression that we make when we meet new people, for example. And it's also the lens we wear. It's sort of the lens we look at the world as, and it's how people view us as well. So something about that is flowing into you and changing you. You might appear more jovial, more lit up than you have been, say, for the past 3 years or so with Saturn in your sign. This, again, is going to make you feel lighter and brighter. And again, I just realized, for those of you Pisces rising, this is another aspect to your love line. Another signature here I'm seeing when it comes to a new partnerships coming in, whether it's in business or love or friends or family. Apply this to your situation, but Jupiter is going to be making opportunity aspects to your partnership sector as well. So I'm seeing 2 signatures here already, Pisces, about new love coming in. If those of you looking for romance, dating, whatever the case may be, definitely somebody special could be finding their way to you. But I encourage you, Pisces, to put yourself out there, though. I don't know if they will just land on your doorstep. I would say, you know, put yourself out there and you'd be surprised. You're going to be kind of like, Jupiter will make you a little bit magnetic, and also synchronicity is going to be in the air for you as well throughout the entire year, Pisces. So with that said, enjoy this transit, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now.